What's up everybody, Cassini Code here back again. We are starting this Newcastle United career mode episode off in a huge fashion. We have got the game against Leeds straight away at St James's Park. Then we're away to St Mary's Stadium at Southampton where we're hoping to avenge the 6-3 defeat we suffered in December. Then, finally, we get to play the FA Cup game against Liverpool. This is going to be huge, but most importantly, the game we are most looking forward to getting through in this episode is the final semi-final fixture against Wolves in the EFL Cup. We won the first leg 3-0 away from home at the Molineux. This one's at St James's Park. Surely we're going through at the final. Can we finally get Newcastle into a cup final for the first time since 1998? But first up is the game against Leeds, which will be simmed, but we are going straight in with this starting 11, strongest team possible we can put out, which is Callum Wilson up front, with Fraser, St Max and Murphy sat directly behind. Then we've got Milner and Hayden holding down the centre defensive midfield as normal. Back four will be Jamal Lewis, Jamal Lascelles, Fabian Schär and Manquillo. Then Martin Dubravka is holding on to his keeper spot for now, although I have been really impressed with Kyle Darlow. We might potentially get him in. The defence is where we're mostly going to be looking to strengthen in January, but right now Lejeune starts on the bench. We're easing him back into the first team, but he's doing better than most, so hopefully we can keep him getting forward, getting good games and helping move Newcastle up that league table. But as stated, we are going to sim the game against Leeds United. So here we go. We are going to quick sim now and hopefully it's 3 points. So it's not 3 points, but it is a draw. So we do get something out of it. Manquillo, you can see there with the yellow card, was the first event. Then we got Rodrigo scoring and put us behind just before half time. But thankfully, Jacob Murphy managed to rescue us a point in the 75th minute. So the £18 million offer from Mikel Arteta and Arsenal for Joe Linton has gone through. We are sitting on £54 million to spend in this transfer window, which we will be doing hopefully soon. We've got scout reports waiting to come back in for the players we were looking at in the last episode. Then we'll make an informed decision on who we're bringing in. But right now, we need to gear up for the game against Southampton at St Mary's. More transfer news from Newcastle United now. Federico Fernandez has completed his move to Red Bull Leipzig, which means another £7 million has come in. However, the board have only allocated us £5 million, so we're looking to spend that. And we've heard now that Emile Smith-Rowe has been approached by Lazio for a £3.35 million offer for him. We might potentially still be going in for him, but we're waiting to hear a little bit more back until we make a decision. So next up is the trip to St Mary's. We are fully rotating the starting 11 because of that huge game against Liverpool in a couple of days' time. We are going with Dwight Gale up front, and it's a first Premier League start for our youngster Dodd, who really impressed in the FA Cup against Burton Albion. Seymour sits directly behind Gale with Jeff Hendrick out wide. For lack of a better option, Hendrick does make the first team. John Joe Shelvey and Sean Longstaff will hold down the CDM positions. Kai Roberts also gets his first Premier League start in left back, another young player who impressed us in the game against Burton. Paul Dummett wears the armband today with Lejeune in centre back. DeAndre Yedlin holds down that right back, and Carl Darlow is getting a Premier League start as he came to us and said he was unhappy with his game time. We're more than happy to give him a chance. So let's quick sim this. Hopefully 3 points and revenge for that 6-3 defeat. So crisis again for Newcastle. We have been beaten by Southampton 2-0 with James Ward-Prowse and Danny Ings getting the goals. It's not looked great. We had 3 shots, 3 chances on target, and we couldn't put any of them in. However, Southampton had the exact same and scored theirs. Clearly it's just a game of who took their chances and who didn't. Okay, so this is it. This is the big game of the episode now. We are up against Liverpool at home in the FA Cup. We're going to go with this starting 11. We're going to go with Callum Wilson with St Maximin, Fraser and Murphy in behind as the standard. Isaac Hayden and James Milner in CDM. Jamal Lewis, Lascelles, Schär and Manquillo in defence with Dubravka in goal. Liverpool are expected to rock their normal formation, obviously the only difference being Mukele, who's staying in the centre-back role, but the last time we played Liverpool it didn't go well for us at St James's Park. We were defeated 3-0, so hopefully a bit of revenge is on the cards. Good work in this from Liverpool. Here's Wijnaldum, ball's got through to Salah. Jamal Lewis got to close him. He's putting him under pressure. Salah still going. Cut across the goal. And it's 1-0 Roberto Firmino. Here's St Maxim. Hayden. Trying to hold off Wijnaldum. Giving it away so easily. And that is the end of the half. No fight from any of our players. Giving up 50-50 balls just so easily. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Wilson. St Maxim. Back to Hayden. Wilson's found space and it's 1-1. What a goal from us. Just calm, worked it brilliantly around the edge of the box, and Callum Wilson has levelled the game. It's good ball to Salah. Firmino, 2-1. Henderson's not going to miss from there. We've just allowed a stupid goal 4 minutes after scoring. Absolutely ridiculous. Liverpool's not been the better team. There's Wilson trying to work this. There's Murphy. Good ball. Liverpool want an offside. It's not given. And it's a good save from Alisson. Good head out of Murphy. Into the feet of Callum Wilson. Now into St. Maxim. And it's 2-2. What a beautiful passing goal from us. Straight back in the game. Swings that in. Hayden's gone for the header. It's cleared. Fraser, edge of the box. Murphy. Now it's St. Maxim, who's charged into the penalty area. He's turned it. And what's going on? St. Maxim's down. How is that not a penalty? Oh, silly ball. And the penalty's not the worst decision. Liverpool were through on goal. Shaw stayed on the pitch. We have a chance to screw Liverpool out of a goal if Dubravka can save. He can! Dubravka has saved it. And Liverpool will feel robbed. They were through on goal. Almost on an open goal. The referee blew for the penalty. Can Fraser make it worse? Ryan Fraser, what a save! So it's finished 2-2, which means we do unfortunately have to play a replay fixture. Not my choice. Of course, I would prefer to just go to extra time or penalties. But we have a replay, which means we will be off to Anfield again, most likely in the first week of February. So crisis for us, I'm afraid, as you can see there, Alan St. Maxim has suffered a sprained knee injury and will be out up to 4 weeks. This does mean, however, he will miss the second leg of the AFL Cup semi-final against Wolves, and also means he's probably going to miss most of February. So it is semi-final time against Wolves in the AFL Cup. As you can see at the top there, just under the logo, we are 3-0 up on away goals, which means I am going to quick sim this one. Hopefully it is a win, and we don't go out of the AFL Cup. I'm not putting that beyond a Wolves side, and I'm certainly not putting it beyond a Newcastle United side to screw that up. But if we can get this win, what I'm hoping to do at the end of this episode is go into the transfer window now properly, just absolutely go ballistic and sign some players and fix some of the issues we've got. But let's quick sim this, and hopefully we are in our first final since 1998. So we did get beat 3-1, but the most important part is we are through on away goals. We'll go through 4-3. It looked like we were going to go to extra time, and then in the 85th minute, Jacob Murphy, as you can see there, scored, which means Newcastle United are through to the AFL Cup final. So the date for the final has been set. It is the 27th of February 2021, and as you can see there, Man City will play Newcastle United. That's going to be a huge game. Man City knocked out Leicester 5-2 on away goals. It's a hell of a battering from Leicester. We had the more close and nail-biting semi-final, but the biggest news possible for us is we finally have a chance of winning silverware for the first time in over 60 years. Okay, so final game of this episode is going to be the game against Brighton. We are going to quick sim this because we're, like I said, aiming to get those transfers out of the way. We're going to try and go with this team, which is Callum Wilson with Fraser, Longstaff, Murphy, then Isaac Hayden and James Milner with Lewis, Lascelles, Shaw, Manquillo in the back, and we're going to go with Martin Dubravka in goal. So it's a 3-2 defeat to Brighton and Hove Albion. We're not having a good episode here. 4 shots out of 4. 4 shots out of 4 chances, and Brighton had 5 shots out of 5 chances. They took theirs, we didn't. Maupai getting 2 goals and Adone getting the other, with Milner getting his first goal for us, I believe, and Callum Wilson, but it wasn't enough. We did sadly get beat. The good news is scout reports are back on the players we were looking for. Having went through the list and sort of narrowing it down, we're looking at these players to potentially bring in. I think first and foremost is going to be Ayoze Perez coming back to Newcastle United. We might also look at Tom Kearney if the deal for Ayoze doesn't look plausible. Callum Chambers could come in and provide a little bit more stability to our defence, and Joseph Willett could be one for the future. That being said, let's get straight on the phone to Brendan Rodgers and get Ayoze Perez back home where he belongs at Newcastle United. So with Jose Perez, as you can see there, being worth 13.5 million, I'm going to go straight in and offer 14 million to try and convince Brendan Rodgers to sell. So Brendan has come back and said he wants 17.1 million to let Jose Perez leave. I'm going to counter offer that at 15 and see what he says. 15 million wasn't acceptable, but they are willing to sell for 16.6. I'm happy to accept that because I do want Jose Perez back at Newcastle United. Okay, time for the contract talks with Jose. He wants important first team, which is absolutely fine with us. He wants to sign a 4-year deal to come back at St James's Park. Again, absolutely fine with us. We don't want a release clause in his contract. He wants £41,000 a week. That is one hell of a wage cut. We'll remove his bonus there and keep him just with the signing on bonus and see what he says. 47.5 grand a week is not bad. As you can see, was on 74, so that's one hell of a pay cut to come home to the Magpies. Okay, so with Sheffield United in what appears to be a bit of a downfall at the minute, we're going to go in for this man, Sander Berg, he's from Norway, he's 22 years old, as you can see there, worth 26 million. It's going to be one hell of a big deal to get him in, but he could be one hell of a signing for the Magpies. I think it's realistic given the fact Sheffield United are on the verge of relegation and we are currently fighting for a European spot. So I'm not going to mess Chris Wilder around. He's 22 and he's worth 26 million. We're going to go straight in here with 30 million pounds and see what they say. So Chris Wilder has come back and said they will sell him for 34.4. We're going to counter again and just go straight for 30 and see whether or not we can get that little bit extra off the deal. So they won't accept 30, but they will accept 32. That's absolutely fine with me. So we'll accept that and go straight into the contract negotiations with Sander Berg. So he wants crucial first team. We did offer him important, but he wants crucial, so I'll accept that. Let's have a look and see how many years we can get him on. If we offer him a 3-year deal... Oh, he wants 5. Okay, that's absolutely fine. We will go for that. Release clause is absolutely fine. Don't want that. 29 grand a week. We'll remove his appearance bonus and see if he'll accept that deal. £31,000 a week, that's absolutely fine with us. Sander Berg becomes our second signing of the window. So moving forward, the team is going to look like this for the rest of the season. Obviously, once players are back from injury, things will change. But Callum Wilson's still going to be our main man. Jose Perez is going to sit in that centre attacking midfielder role just behind Wilson. Sander Berg goes straight in, replacing James Milner. So he'll sit with Isaac Hayden and hold down the centre defensive midfield. And then obviously the team is more or less unchanged as it was. Once St Maxim comes back though, Jacob Murphy will most likely get dropped and Jose Perez will go out wide, or vice versa. St Maxim will go out wide, but that is mostly what we're going to be looking for this season. Not looking to bring in anybody else, but if players get injured or people ask to leave in the final couple of days of the window, that will change. So as always, we're going to finish this episode off looking at the league table. Liverpool continue their grasp on that top spot, still reluctant to give it up. Leicester have moved into second, dropping Spurs to third, I think, for the first time this season. Leicester sit just 6 points behind Liverpool. We've got Man United holding down the 4th place spot with a 13-point gap between them and Spurs. Chelsea have moved to 5th. We have dropped to 7th after our horrific month. We only managed to pick up a point all month. This is not good. As we see there, we sit on 41 points in 7th. Moving down to the bottom of the table, Mikel Arteta has managed to get the Arsenal out of the relegation zone. They sit 2 points clear of West Brom. Fulham in 19th on 17 points. They sit 5 points from safety. Sheffield United looking in dire straits now on 15 points. It's surely looking like Chris Wilder is going to have one hell of a job on his hands to keep them up. So the next episode of the Newcastle United Career Mode is going to be a big one. We have got the replay fixture against Liverpool in the FA Cup away from home. We most likely will sim that one because I don't anticipate us winning the FA Cup. But then we're away to Arsenal in what will be a big game for Mikel Arteta and obviously us because Joe Linton now plays for Arsenal. We were at the Emirates for that one. Then there's the international break and we are away to Chelsea. That's going to be a bit of an interesting one to see Frank Lampard's side at Stamford Bridge. Obviously, as remember, it was a good game the last time we played. But what we'll wrap up next episode is going to be this. The AFL Cup Final against Manchester City. One hell of a game for that. We're going to have such a hard task on our hands trying to lift the first bit of silverware. But I think we'll be up for the challenge. It's going to be a really, really difficult episode with those 4 teams to play. But that is going to do it for me for this episode of the Newcastle Career Mode. All the best, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.